2 times Govind Prajapati. Okay, so next one is about a heat sink on a processor. So it is very mandatory that on processor compulsory there should be heat sink with fan. Okay, and there is a thermal paste which is make a more contact between your processor and heat sink. So when processor is generating heat, the heat sink will absorb the heat and it maintain the temperature of it will maintain the constant temperature in the processor. Okay, this is for a like a example for a desktop type heat sink on a processor. This is a laptop type heat sink kind of stuff. Okay, here it is, main processor is under this one. It absorbs the heat and the heat passes to this copper rod, and the fan it is below the air. So then heat the heat is reduced. Okay, so if it is sometimes the heat sink got a more dust, so what will happen, the heat cannot able to escape. So what you have to do, better you have to clean up this particular part. And we are also discuss about RAM and ROM, difference between RAM and ROM also we discuss. Okay, primary memories, main memory is a RAM, primary memory is a RAM and ROM. RAM is a volatile memory, ROM is a non-volatile memory. And we discussed about a RAM, and in a RAM also two types, static RAM and dynamic RAM. Static RAM, SRAM, dynamic RAM, DRAM. SRAM we are used as a cache memory which is built inside of your CPU. Dynamic RAM which is further developed into SDRAM, SDRAM to DDR, DDR1, sorry DDR, DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5. So different Next is a RAM also have a specification. When you see a RAM, so first of all we look at a sizes and looks also. Okay, the speed of a RAM is also there, depends upon RAM model. So the speed of the RAM is also there. Okay, so that is we have to check it. You want to replace the RAM or you want to insert a new RAM. Okay, you must know the compatibility with the motherboard and CPU also. Okay. And this is how the desktop RAMs are look like, and another one is laptop RAMs are look like. Okay, sometimes RAM failure, RAM cleaning is also important in the troubleshooting. What it is, you start a PC, the thing on your screen, or may hear, okay, continuous beep sounds. No keyboard LED blinking, no keyboard LED blinking. Okay, so maybe so whatever it is, you find it is a post failure. Mostly we blame on the RAM because it can be like you are moving your desktop, that time RAM may be got loose connectivity. RAM may having a loose connections. So what you do? So remove the RAM, check the RAM and reinsert the RAM. Remove the RAM, check the RAM and reinsert the RAM. If RAM got more dusty, the RAM edges got dusty, so you have to clean up with a simple eraser. And the RAM slots also get a more dust on it. So what you will do, use the blowers, okay, or a compressed air blower kind of stuff, so you can clean up this one. Okay, this is the how RAM placement is, CPU, RAM, and I/O controllers. So all our input output devices like a keyboard, mouse, monitors, storage devices, all these things are communicated to this RAM and processor through I/O controller only. Okay, so this I/O controller knows which device, where it is located, what is their I/O address, I/O memory address, kind of stuff. Okay, this is a RAM, random access memory, and this is cache memory, CPU. So cache memory is built inside our CPU only. Okay, in the cache memory also there is a levels, level 1, level 2, level 3 cache memory are there. Okay, so all cache memory. First level 1, the on level 1, there is a level 2. On level 2, there is a level 3. Okay, you have a level 3 cache memory means you have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so like that. So instructions and data loaded to RAM, RAM loaded to cache, cache to CPU, CPU process and put it into cache, cache to RAM, RAM to IO controller to your devices. And on your motherboard, there is a north bridge and south bridge. North bridge will make a control of communication between RAM and CPU, and south bridge is taking control of your communication between RAM and other peripherals like IO controllers, input output devices. All this can be controlled by south bridge. Okay, ROM read-only memory. It is a permanent memory. Okay, in the ROM chip, we are using a EPROM chip, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. It is a fixed chip. We cannot able to change our ROM chip. Okay, we can't able to change our ROM chip like a RAM chip. Okay, so the memory of a ROM is not a mandatory here. So there is a memory size is there, but we can do it with that memory size. We can't increase or decrease the memory size. ROM has a program called a BIOS. Okay, ROM has a program called a, inside in a ROM there is a program called a BIOS, which is nothing but a firmware. Okay, what is the use of this BIOS? So BIOS will use to help your boot your system. You power on your system, system is booted and you got a screen, so that is called a boot process. Okay, so this BIOS will help you to boot your system. It recognizes hardware devices. In your system, you install a processor, RAM, hard disk, CD-ROM, floppy disk, like that. You have a devices, right? Internal on devices, NICs, okay, or graphic cards, whatever you install on on your motherboard. Okay, so when you power on it, when you power on your system, BIOS will recognize those hardware devices and make sure that which device is working, which device is not working, like that. Okay, it recognizes hardware devices. Next, BIOS will tell you which order you have to check for operating system. That's it. It's a location load. Okay, which order of operating system. So first, where you have to check, from where you have to check operating system, like a boot priority is there. Based on the priority list, your operating system will be loaded. And loads operating system helps you to load operating system. Okay, and it helps operating system to access hardware devices, because BIOS knows what hardware devices on your motherboard and connected to motherboard. So then it is your BIOS will help your operating system to access hardware devices. So what is this BIOS, guys? Again, it is a firmware. Firmware means it's a simple a program it is. This BIOS is nowadays we are using UEFI. That's a new update version of BIOS is UEFI, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. The BIOS is manufactured by different organizations: ME BIOS, Edward BIOS, Phoenix BIOS. You can go to the BIOS settings by pressing the BIOS key. That is a general point. Another point is also there to go to BIOS settings. That's not I'm tracking now. So just simple point I'm telling. So you can go to BIOS key, press the BIOS key to go to BIOS settings. Another way is there also. This is general one. Okay, this is general one, guys. When you start your PC, on screen it will shows F2 to setup, Del to setup, F1 to setup, F9 to setup, like that. So that is your BIOS key. Okay. Second one is you have to search in Google or your manufacturer laptop or desktop manufacturer website, like motherboard manufacturer website. Okay, or a total, like I'm using Lenovo website, which model, what is their BIOS key, like that. Don't mention operating system there, but just tell what is the BIOS key. So find out a BIOS key and power on your system, press the BIOS key, then you can go to BIOS settings. So in BIOS settings, you can manage date and time. You can set a password for your BIOS. You can change some hardware features. You can enable and disable certain features. You can change certain hardware settings. You can change boot priorities, and also we can check hardware configuration, CPU information, RAM and hard disk or SSD or CD-ROM information. So this is how your main screen will look like, your date and time and your system configuration. This is where we can change this. Guys, BIOS settings may different from one system to another system, depends upon their BIOS or UEFI organization, company. So for example, this is Phoenix. Okay. So you can give the security. This is boot priority window. Okay. Certain settings, guys. What are the settings you are changing? Okay, and the date and time, the passwords, the settings you have changed. These are all in a temporary type only. When you power off your system, this will become a factory default. Means what are the earlier stage of your set by your settings that will be loaded. So you have to continuously run date and time, right? You have to continuously run date and time. Okay, and the configuration, the BIOS settings are a configurations. The password must be alive. What to do? We are using a BIOS battery that is called a CMOS battery, which is actually made by lithium 3 volts battery. Okay, that is a lithium battery, 3 volts battery. Okay, 3 volts. Okay, so this battery will give power supply to your BIOS chip. So BIOS settings are keep alive date and time. The passwords BIOS settings are keep alive. Okay, because of this lithium battery. What is this CMOS? CMOS word became that is a complementary metal oxide semiconductor field effective transistor. It is okay. It is a transistor used to build your microprocessor, microcontrollers. Your CMOS means what we can say your BIOS chips. Okay, ROM chips are like this. These are all built by CMOS technology only. You can see in a camera, so find out in a Amazon or somewhere, CMOS camera means you're using digital cameras, right? So the digital camera, the cam is some places there is a TFTP cam or a CMOS cam. It is there. It's telling. Okay, find out that one also. It's a simple CMOS is a simple is a transistor technology which is used to build your microprocessor, microcontroller chips. Okay, so that's the point, guys. If you start your PC, when you start your PC, you got a by CMOS check some error like this. So what is the thing? So mostly it is, yeah, someone is removed your battery and reinserted battery if you got only one time only. But every day you are getting, every time you are start your PC, you are getting CMOS check some error. So there is a possibility that your battery got a low powered or a battery no charge inside. So what to do? You have to go and buy a change your battery. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So what are the things we discussed last class, last minute? Hmm? What happened? Guys, today also leave for me also, not only you. For me also it is holiday. Just not to miss something. Because while you are working also, I can give questions and answers, no problem. But that is not a correct way learning. Okay, so you will pass an interview, then you will struggle a lot. Nothing, you will lose a job after two months. I'm promising that. I can pass your interviews with the questions and answer. I already shared some questions, right? Almost all some questions only. Maximum for 10 to 20, 30 questions I will give you. You will pass an interview, then you will lose your job. Once you join, you will lose your job. Why? Because you don't know these are all terminologies. Okay. You never seen all these things, kind of stuff. People are not speaking nothing.
No, sir, I'm listening.
Yeah, you're listening, but you have to reply also, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You can ask any question also. As simple, do you understand? Are you working with the up to now? Like yesterday, end of the time we discussed this thing, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's 1 o'clock like that. So that's why I just wantedly repeated all these things.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, I have a question.
Tell me.
Sir, means if you qualify the exam and entered in SCL, then there is also a training like practical training in SCL.
I don't know practical training part, but as I know, they'll give a product-based training. So what is the work, what you have to do, what are the things are there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mostly not basic technology based, they're product based. How you should answer, how to connect, how to check, verify the connectivity like that. Not
Okay, sir.
complete training. It's not from basics. Not from basics. That's why we try to cover the basics most.
Okay, sir.
So when will be
Okay,
the
sir.
exam?
Yeah.
When will be the exam?
When will be the exam?
Yeah.
Or in interview.
That is I don't know. So that is also completely I don't know. So that is maybe after your Watson test. Okay. So
Okay.
definitely after Watson test. Okay. So first study, guys. The daily studies, daily what we are discussing daily. Okay.
Sir, there
So
is lot of things to learn.
there is
So many
nothing.
slides.
There is nothing in the our topics. Okay. Not lot of things. Lot of things are to learn, guys. One thing I am telling from day one onwards. Today also I told what it is. You have to study daily. If you study
Yes, sir.
daily, where is the lot of
That is
things?
what I'm talking about, sir. Means these things you have to see now. Once you have to see all these slides and other things.
You daily have to go through once. Every day from starting to ending. It won't take more than 15 minutes. Okay. Even last time, last batch guys, one guy called me and sir, lot of things to learn. What are the important question? Give me tomorrow is my interview. I didn't give anything because from day on one onwards, we are telling this is important, this is thing, this is thing. At least end of the class or maybe the night before you bed or maybe sometime, maybe you're sitting in a bathroom also, you can open your mobile and check it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm not talking like you have to spend 4 hours for learning. I'm talking from day onwards 15 to half an hour, maximum of half an hour. If you cannot be able to spend half an hour for your purpose, I can't. You are not doing my work, right? You are doing your work. This is your work. And we are covering the basics, means it is always useful. What are the technology? What are the things you are going to learn next time? Eh? Okay, so whatever it is, I will keep talk like that only, so don't mind about it. Okay, so guys, it's another component, important component is motherboard. It is our main circuit board. All our components are connecting to motherboard directly or indirectly. You take a motherboard. Okay, so different set of motherboards. It's a old style motherboards are a very clean and clear cut picture is this. Can you see this is the CPU socket, RAM slots. Okay, this is white bars you have seen, that is PCA slot to connect NIC cards, audio cards, additional USB connectivity purpose. This is for BIOS battery purpose. This black one is for a AGP, graphic cards purpose. Okay, this is a north bridge, this is south bridge. Okay, this is a back panel connection for connecting your keyboard, mouse, monitor, and LAN connector and USB connectors also there. Okay, so motherboard, based on motherboard manufacturers and different generations of motherboards, different type of connectivities are there. Okay, so it's another clear picture of a motherboard. So once upon a time, motherboard, it's you are getting everything, not everything, everything. Zebronics keyboard kit. So there is a motherboard kit. Motherboard we are getting dual core 2 Geo processor, 2 GB RAM is there, and Intel CPU fan assembly also giving in this case. Like you want to assemble any, it's very simple 32-bit system, then you can assemble it. Of course, you need this SMPS and a cabinet also. That much we don't require. Motherboards. So look at these motherboards, guys. Some are look normal cost, some are look like a very high cost. 9,000 is not a very high cost. There is a 25,000, 55,000 motherboard. Okay. So this is a very old motherboard. H61 means very old motherboards. Okay. Every motherboard again CPU compatibility also important for a motherboard. Like I purchase this motherboard and I want to install another type of CPU, not like that. Intel, AMD, separate motherboards only. Okay, separate motherboards only. Intel motherboard separate, AMD motherboard separate. And for example, i5 processor support i5 11th generation support motherboard different. i5 12th generation motherboard support is also different. Okay, I have a i3 9th generation motherboard. i3 9th generation supported motherboard, which support both i3 9th generation, i5 9th generation, i7 9th generation, and 8th generation also it will support, but not support 10th generation of i3 processor. Okay, so each processor, each one have a specific kind of stuff. You see LGA 1200 which support a 10th and 11th generation processors, not a 12th generation, 10th and 11th only it will support, not 9 also. Each motherboard has their certain facilities. Some are additional facilities, some are base facilities only there. So this is a CPU socket, guys. This is the RAM slots. You can see here it is the RAM slots. And this black one, the black with the certain dots, you can see this one is SMPS ATX power connector. ATX power connector. This is SATA port connector. SATA port connector. This is CMOS battery. Okay, and this is our BIOS chipset. This is AGP slot. This is AGP slot. Of course, we have one SSD slot also there, connectivity. This is SSD slot. Okay, only one SSD slot given. This is for connecting for CPU. Okay, these are certain chipsets on it. This is mostly audio chip kind of stuff. Video chip, audio chip is there here. Okay, so it's a real tech audio chip because it's a crab symbol represent audio chip. This is two are there, no small one that is called PCIe. PCIe express slots. Big bars are a PCI, small are a PCIe. This is back panel where we connect other things like a keyboard, mouse, PS/2 connector. Okay, this is for monitor connector. This is for a monitor connector, 15 pin monitor connector, and this is HDMI connector. This first one is HDMI connector. This is something like eSATA type of connector is there. USB 3.0, USB 2.0. What is this one? RJ45 LAN port, Ethernet port, LAN port kind of stuff.
Socket.
And this is sockets. Very good. This is your audio connectivity, right? Mic, speakers, and line in kind of stuff. So this is the how motherboard is. And when you buy a new motherboard, you will get a driver's CD. Okay, you can download a motherboard drivers from internet, but anyway you are getting a CD means you can keep a copy of one CD. So anytime you format your system, you can install those drivers. This is a normal cost one. Okay, so usually 5,000 to 6,000, 7,000. You won't get a more facility. See, we are using this processor, i3 processor, 10th generation processor, and a RAM. I'm going to this particular motherboard. It is 11,000 rupees. And what we are getting, it is contains a built-in Wi-Fi. Built-in Wi-Fi, M.2 facility means SSD we can able to connect it. Okay, so this is a AMD purpose. AMD Ryzen 5000 series support is there. So this is a processor socket. 4 RAM slots are given. 4 RAM slots are given. So this is a graphic card slot. That's you can see silver type of bar is there. No? That is graphic card slot. The next one is the edge one is SSD slot, M.2 type SSD slot. PCIe and BIOS battery kind of stuff. Something additionally connected, that's back panel we can able to get it. Yeah, this is for a Wi-Fi connecting purpose, I think so. BIOS chip, and this is this part I can see this particular one. Okay, this one is separate CPU power connector. This is SMPS to motherboard 24 pin ATX connector, but this is separate 8 pin connector for CPU purpose. Power connector only, SMPS connector only. Thermal pad, pump fan support. Flash BIOS button. I don't. Steel armor is there. Back panel. See the back panel again. flash BIOS button, maybe something new one it is. So VGA for a monitor. This is for a TV or display port. Some new kind of display port it is. eSATA port is there earlier. So this is HDMI. This is guaranteed HDMI. And this is, you can connect keyboard or mouse here also, or you can use USB. This is, LAN port. Okay, Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth antenna connectors. So you have to connect antenna, they will give antenna to you. You have to connect, like you can desktop directly. You know to install additional NIC, wireless NIC, you know to install it is built in NIC. Depends upon motherboard, facilities will come. See, Wi-Fi antennas. Okay guys, so this is how the motherboard is look like. Different slots are there, already we discussed. So front panel, back panel slots also available. Yesterday I've shared some processor slots are sockets on motherboard. Memory slots are expansion cards. This is a very old style motherboard guys, but everything is we can see clearly in this one. Okay. Okay. We can reduce small size also. Okay. So we'll get a CPU socket or a slot. We will get it. Memory slots. Slot means like this. Socket means like this. Okay. Memory slots, expansion slots, I/O ports. In chipsets, different chipsets on it. IDE or a SATA connector for a hard disk or a floppy disk connector, floppy disk drive connector, hard disk or CD-ROM connector, IDE or SATA connectors, CMOS batteries, power supply connector, so where power supply connector, heat sink and front panel connectors also there. One line is missing. Okay. So these are the motherboard on motherboard components. Okay, so already I given these pictures to you guys, so that's simple pictures. Okay, these are the RAM slots. Okay, so already we shown RAM slots. This is ATX power slot. Back panel connectors. Okay, so you can see it is PS/2 connectivity for keyboard and mouse, VGA display, VGA display connector, parallel port, COM port or serial port. Okay, USB ports, LAN card connector. Okay, LAN RJ45 socket. So LAN port it is, and these are the audio connecting jackets. So if you go for a new type of connectivity like this, okay, HDMI port, you will get it. What we can say VGA port we are getting. You know, earlier days we have to go to internet center. Now it is not required, right? Not required. We are getting a mobile phone for that. Not required means not because you have having a laptop or desktop kind of stuff. You are having a mobile most of the last 3-4 years. We are having a mobile phone. Maximum we are managing with a mobile phone only. Even to scan or doing anything, most will try to do with a cam scanner kind of stuff. Occasionally doing printing. Also, direct physical contact is also reduced, right? So almost all we are away from the computer. That's why when you see something, it is completely new to you. But at least look at now. Okay, even at least go through some demo assembling, deassembling videos already yesterday I told, and also yesterday I shared some videos to you guys. Okay, in that channel also you will get a lot of troubleshooting related, component related, even networking related questions also. Very small size videos. My video, one class video is a 45 to 1 hour, right? Mine is a very
Yes.
big size. Totally multiple time explanations are there. Yesterday
So
videos, that
that
is 10 minutes videos.
socket is replaced by USB, na?
Which one?
That violet color socket and this, it is replaced by this USB socket, na?
Ah,
Now
yes, right.
it
These
is
are for a keyboard and mouse. Earlier we used
yes,
a keyboard
yes,
and mouse. Now again it is came, but in meantime it is both are removed and replaced with USB. Because USB anytime you can connect. Like USB system is on and you can connect a keyboard and mouse after turn on your computer. PS2 is not like that.
yes,
You have to connect first
yes.
keyboard and mouse, then turn on your computer.
If we direct attach it when the computer is on, then it is not visible.
It won't detect.
Yes, it won't get activated.
Correct. Don't detect. Okay. So that's the problem with that. Now this is still we are using, that is VGA port. It's a 15 pin port it is. It is extra. Okay, 15 pin connector. It is for a monitors, projectors like that. Now it is now it is there. Plus we are got a HDMI port. That is not given here. It's a wall PPT type only. I didn't change that one. Okay. And this serial port of kind of stuff also mostly removed. So earlier they used RS-232 like a communication port, communicated to other devices purposes. Okay, like this. Serial port also called as a COM port. So why it is another line is there. Okay, another name is there, that is for that one. So this is RS-232. Okay, so this is LAN port. We know already. Okay, HDMI port is also there. Another display purpose, HDMI. What is use of HDMI port, guys?
So we can connect laptop to our LED TV.
Very good. Video and audio, both we can able to get it. If you are connected to, very good, LED TV. That facilities are there. You can connect it to LED TV. Projectors also there. I have a desktop. I build my own desktop. So by purchasing individual components, so I assembled my desktop. So instead of buying one monitor, I purchase a TV, Kevin TV. It's around 6,000 rupees, 6,000, 6,500. I didn't remember, but it's around 6,000 rupees. Okay. So with 6,000 rupees, I got a 24 inches TV. If you want 24 inches monitor, it is very cost. You will get maximum 20, 19, 20, 21 inches deep. 19 or 21 inches only, not even a 20 inches. Okay. So that is cost is around 5 to 6,000. And you want a HD and HDMI facility monitor you want it, you have to put at least 10,000. Okay, I got a simple TV. So the TV built-in speakers also there. So what I have done, I use HDMI cable to connect. So I'm getting on my TV both audio and as well as a video. So HDMI transfers both audio and video. VGA transfers only video part, means display. Only display part it will do it. Okay, HDMI both audio and video both will be transferred. Projectors, TVs, and stuff. Somewhere why should we leave this HDMI port kind of stuff? Actually, the HDMI, VGA port, and some so old days it's we use DVI, D port. Just I want only HDMI. HDMI mini port is also there. I already as this is a new modern display port. So we didn't test it here, but this is good modern display port. USB-C port. This is good actually. We'll change it. Finally, we done. These are the things about your motherboard, guys. Next is SMPS. Then once I will told about SMPS, we'll take a break. Next, we'll go to the hard disk related components. Okay. So what is SMPS? What is an SMPS? The SMPS, we are our main power supply is a AC power supply. Our main power supply is a AC power supply. Okay, main power supply, what we are using is a main power supply. So our okay, so to this wall socket and our main power supply is what it is, 220 volts, 50 hertz AC power supply. Okay, it is sine wave like this. It is a sine wave like this, means plus voltage, plus voltage, minus, means voltage is always vary from 0 to high, high to low, again 0, 0 to minus, high, minus to 0, like this. The voltage is varies for every time, means continuously varies. Okay, continuously it varies. So that is AC power supply. For our computer, we need a DC power supply. For our computer, we need a DC power supply. For different components, different set of voltages are required. So what we have to do? We to convert this AC power supply to DC power supply. Okay, we have to convert AC power supply to DC power supply. Our main power supply means our supply is 220 to 230 volts AC power supply. Okay. The 50 hertz frequency we are using. Some people, is it mandatory to mention? Yes, sometimes, because if you take America, it's a 110 volts, 110 volts AC, 60 gigahertz they are using. Okay, in America. In India and European countries, mainly we are using 220 volts, 50 hertz frequency, not even 230. So 220 volts is a standard, but we are getting little extra 230 volts. Okay, AC power supply, and it is a sine wave, and it's not sine wave. It is, the spelling wise it is correct. Okay, it is a sine wave, but system components require DC power supply. So SMPS converts AC to DC power supply. Okay. For example, guys, you have your mobile phone charger. That is also converting main AC power supply to DC. Then DC is coming to your mobile phone. Okay. Your battery is DC power supply. Solar panel DC power supply. That's why we don't use solar panels every place. Why? Because of our home appliances work with AC power supply, like a fan, refrigerator. These are all AC power supply, home appliances, and solar panel generating DC power supply. Our computer, laptop, mobile phones, these electronic devices use DC power supply. Our main power supply is AC power supply. So we have to convert AC to DC. To convert, we are using SMPS switch mode power supply. Earlier days we have a AT type of uh, we are using AT, and next now we are using ATX. So that is 20 pin connector, and AT is a 6 12 pin connector. Now we are getting 24 ATX is must be 24 pin connector, plus additionally 4 or 6 or 8 pin connector is required. That's I showed in a motherboard. The separate power connector is required for a CPU. Earlier days it is a 4 pin, then it is 6 pin. Some motherboards are required 6 pin type, some are 8 pin type. Okay, so this is a point. Okay, so first one is how the SMPS is look like. That is, first we will going to take a picture and put it. So this is a SMPS unit. Here actually main power supply goes, and this wires you can see the plugs will go to your devices, different devices. Okay, I to CPU connecting 4+4 or a 4 pin connector, 4+4 pin connector, motherboard connector. Okay, directly go to 24 pin motherboard connector, SATA hard disk or SATA CD-ROM power connector, and this is a IDE type of power connector. Okay, IDE type of hard disk or CD-ROM connector. PCIe separate 6 pin connector it is, floppy disk connector. So page is not enough. Okay, so we'll go to different voltage levels we are getting, guys. Here it is. So SMPS voltage is plus 12 volts. So these are all DC voltages what we are using, getting minus 12 volts, plus 5 volts, plus 3.3 volts, so DC voltages. And next is ground. Okay, the black one is ground. So different colors represent different type of connectivities kind of stuff. Okay, the different colors of this motherboard, it is actually going to motherboard connector. Okay, this connection go to 24 connector, go to motherboard. On motherboard it will be connected. Each color represents certain voltage or a certain signal. PS on, that's a green one is PS on. Okay, power OK signal, power good signal. The black one represent COM or a ground. Common or a ground symbol it is. The yellow one represent plus 12 volts. The red one represent plus 5 volts. And this we can see this kind of color. It is some orange color type, pink color type, that is plus 3 volts, 3.3 volts. Okay, the blue wire, it is represent minus 12 volts. Okay, so these are the different voltages in the SMPS. Okay, next one is storage, guys. So in the storage also we'll tell different type of storages we use in the in generally, plus also what is the hard disk and different connectivity to hard disk and different sizes of hard disk. Of course, we'll discuss about SSDs, then hard disk management. I will tell. What I am missing here, so that is we will tell after the break. Take a break, guys. Class will go up to 1:30, guys, for today. So how much time you want? 12:10 already. 12:20.
Yes.
25 maximum. You have something and come back.
Okay, sir.
Any
Okay, sir.
if not
Okay, sir.
anything since morning.